Now, let's cross to our reporter Dasen Thathiah, who's in Durban, for more predictions from the streets of one of our major cities. Dasen, as we've just heard from eNCA at Parliament, loads expected from Tito Mboweni, the union specifically saying they don't understand why they should bear the brunt of years and years of state capture and abuse at the hands of members of government. What are you hearing from people there?
Well, Marcel, that's pretty much the sentiment on the ground as well. Many people have those expectations. They are going to be watching that budget very closely. You know, it's often like this big pie and just people take their pick and they take a slice and they pay attention to that, whether it's health or whether it's, you know, talking about the budget for SOEs. And when it comes to students, and that's where I am at the moment, I'm at the UKZN Howard College. When it comes to students, we normally hear about free education, and they normally want to see how much of that pie is being allocated to free education. So I'm joined now by a group of students, mostly postgraduate and final year students, who have been sharing some of their views with me. And as much as we know that education is often top of mind, even last year we saw that 57 billion allocation. Is that all that you're thinking about right now, with just about 2 hours to go before the budget speech?
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity. Well, our wish today is that free education or education becomes part of the top three national priorities and on the minister's budget speech today. And also that, as we know, that free education is the catalyst in combating hunger and poverty within the country. And also that we hope that the minister will make good commitments towards free education and also provide proper implementation strategies, because sometimes we find out that decisions are made on top, but actually they are not practical on the ground.
So you're looking for clarity on that decision, really, for the minister to unpack that. But apart from free education, what's on your mind this afternoon?
As we all know, that last year during the midterm budget speech, the minister did talk about erasing tax from sanitary towels. So we're looking forward to the minister announcing that now, going through to this year, they're gonna be starting in selling sanitary towels that are tax free, because we really cannot afford. As the young women of South Africa, we're unemployed. Some of us are students. We cannot afford sanitary towels. So can we just work on that, because we can't see it materializing ever since last year from the midterm speech budgets.
Very important issue there. And you, ma'am, what are you hoping gets a big share of the pie?
Well, personally, I'll just speak from how we've been impacted by the ESCOM cuts. As students, last week we experienced the 4 hours of ESCOM cut, and that also hindered us from going through the process of registration, going through the process of financially clearing ourselves, and we're in this situation now because of that hindrance in itself. So I'm more interested in seeing how we're going to separate the ESCOM structures, and how we're going to divide it financially as well.
And to see how the lights will be kept on. And what about you, sir?
Yes, I myself personally, I will expect the minister to touch on the deficiencies when it comes to access to justice, especially for those who were previously disadvantaged. You know, because which was posed by the historical divisions of the past. So it's also the issue of lack of access to justice, still an issue today. So I expect the budget of the minister to speak to the increase on the allocation on to the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, to make sure that our people do receive fair legal representation, both in criminal cases and civil cases.
Thanks very much. And you, very quickly, you were talking to me earlier about small businesses and the importance of that.
For me, the issue of unemployment is still a very big crisis in South Africa. So for me, my expectations from the minister are around the issue of implementing or investing into SMMEs that will create that will alleviate poverty, and then with the hope that our economy will obviously grow. So I'm looking forward to hearing what the minister is going to say in terms of investments into SMMEs.
Thanks very much. And just very briefly before I let you all go.
Okay, no, thank you very much for this opportunity. I personally believe that so far we haven't achieved what we call free education, because we are highly affected by financial exclusion. We do have academic exclusion and then financial exclusion, but financial exclusion is the worst because we all believe that education is a right. So we are here to exercise our rights, but we are excluded by the system. So our students are already in debt. Who are students who are not even employed, but we are already in debt. So we are owing something like 100,000. So if we are owing, the university does not allow you to register. Even in private colleges, they are facing the same problems. So today we are hoping that the minister will ensure that he protects us, those who are poor, to ensure that we carry on with our studies. And then we also have the issue of accommodation. It's a national crisis. TVET colleges, TVETs don't have accommodation. University students don't have accommodation. So we have people who are coming far from here, and then they are accepted to start here, but they don't have accommodation. So how do we expect someone to start without accommodation?
Thank you very much. Marcel, you'll see there's a variety of views here, not just free education, although that is top of mind for these students. Some talking about historical debt and accommodation, but now also the other issues around the state-owned enterprises. One of the ladies mentioning ESCOM and waiting to see how much the minister allocates there and how they're going to fix that problem, and also small businesses and the important role that they play, and whether they will receive enough funding to allow for some kinds of opportunities for these students who will now be entering the working world soon.
Update Dasen Thathiah there in Durban, hearing from people very important today as they will be expected to take the country forward once they've graduated and, of course, more importantly, find jobs and take our economy forward.